Imagine this. You finish third in the league and still get relegated. Or your team plays great one year, bad the next, and then suddenly those old results come back to haunt you 2 years later. Oh, and Argentina doesn't even have just one champion per season. They crown two, sometimes even more. This is Argentine football. A league system so chaotic, so political, and so unique that you need both a calculator and maybe a glass of Malbec just to understand it. Today, we're going deep into why Argentina runs one of the strangest football leagues on earth. Let's start with the basics. In most of Europe, you know the script. 38 games. Everyone plays each other home and away. 3 points for a win. The most points equals champion. Clean, simple, logical. In Argentina, logic takes the bench. Football here is tied to politics, TV money, and, let's be honest, making sure the country's massive clubs never stay irrelevant for too long. The Argentine Football Association, the AFA, has changed its league format dozens of times. Different numbers of teams, different ways of deciding champions, different relegation rules. If you blink, you might miss a new system. And that's just part of the culture. It's chaotic, but it's also beautiful. So, how does the top flight actually work in 2025? The Primera Division, also called the Liga Professional, isn't one long league. It's actually two short tournaments every year, the Apertura and the Clausura. Here's how it works. The 28 teams are split into 2 zones. In each zone, clubs play 16 regular season matches. Then, the top 8 from each zone move on to knockout rounds, round of 16, quarterfinals, semi-finals, and then a final. The winner of the Apertura is crowned champion. Then, reset. Everyone starts again for the Clausura. Another champion at the end of that. So if you're a fan, that's twice the chance to celebrate or twice the chance to be heartbroken. This format means more finals, more trophies and more drama. Every 6 months there's a champion. That's great for TV, great for the fans who crave passion, and confusing as hell for anyone trying to figure out how many titles a team has actually won. Of course, in South America, the real prize isn't just domestic glory. It's qualifying for the Copa Libertadores, the continent's version of the Champions League. For Argentine clubs, this prestigious tournament represents the pinnacle of South American football, where legends are made and continental supremacy is decided. In Argentina, Libertadores spots aren't straightforward like in many European leagues. The qualification system reflects the unique structure of Argentine football, where multiple competitions and complex calculations determine which clubs earn the right to compete against. South America's finest. Argentina 1, Apertura champion. The winner of the Apertura tournament automatically secures the first Copa Libertadores spot. This opening tournament of the season carries enormous weight, as victory guarantees continental competition regardless of other results. The Apertura champion enters the group stage directly, avoiding the qualifying rounds that can derail lesser-ranked teams. Argentina 2, Clausura champion. Similarly, the Clausura tournament winner claims the second guaranteed Libertadores berth. This closing tournament of the domestic season often features the most dramatic finishes. As clubs, no continental qualification is at stake. The dual tournament system ensures that form across the entire season matters, not just a single campaign. Argentina 3, Copa Argentina winner. The domestic cup competition provides a third pathway to continental glory. Copa Argentina offers smaller clubs a realistic route to Libertadores qualification, as cup competitions often produce surprising winners. This knockout tournament has become increasingly significant, with clubs fielding strong lineups throughout to secure that precious third spot. Argentina 4-6 table. The remaining 3 spots come from the aggregate table, essentially combining both tournaments' points into one comprehensive ranking. This system rewards consistency across the entire season, ensuring that clubs who perform well in both Apertura and Clausura competitions can still qualify. Teams must maintain high standards throughout the year, as a poor showing in one tournament can be compensated by excellence in the other. This qualification structure creates fascinating strategic considerations for Argentine clubs. Managers must balance squad rotation between tournaments whilst maintaining competitive standards across all competitions. The aggregate table system particularly rewards depth and consistency, as teams cannot afford to write off either the Apertura or Clausura campaigns. Did you know that Argentine clubs have won the Copa Libertadores 25 times, more than any other nation? This complex qualification system ensures that only the most deserving teams represent Argentina on the continental stage. The beauty of this system lies in its complexity and fairness. Unlike European leagues where a single table determines everything, Argentina's multifaceted approach gives clubs multiple opportunities to prove their worth, whether through tournament victories or sustained excellence across both seasons. The path to Copa Libertadores qualification rewards different types of sporting achievement. So yes, in Argentina, you can finish 10th in one tournament, sneak into the knockouts, pull off a miracle, win the whole thing, and suddenly you're in the Libertadores. Absolute chaos. Now we get to the part that makes Argentina's league truly bizarre: relegation. In most football leagues around the world, the bottom 3 teams are relegated at the end of the season. Simple, straightforward, and based purely on that year's performance. But Argentina, they've created something far more complex and controversial. In the Argentine Primera Division, 2 teams go down every year. But they're decided into very different ways that showcase the league's unique approach to competition and survival. The first relegation spot follows traditional logic. If you finish dead last over the current season, you're gone. This is straightforward enough and mirrors what fans expect from football leagues worldwide. Your season's performance directly determines your fate. The second relegation spot is where things get truly spicy. It's decided by the promedio system, a 3-year rolling average that can doom teams, regardless of their current season's form. This system has created some of the most dramatic and unfair relegation battles in world football. The promedio system works on a simple but brutal formula. Promedio equals total points over 3 seasons divided by total matches played. This means that past failures can haunt clubs for years, creating a system where history matters as much as present performance. Understanding how the promedio works requires looking at real examples. The system's impact becomes clear when you see how it can destroy teams despite recent improvements, or how it particularly punishes newly promoted clubs who lack the statistical cushion of established sides. Team A's promedio 1.02 points. So total points from the last 3 seasons divided by the total matches played, which is 96. Promoted club 0.875 points. Season 1, 28 points in 32 matches puts them directly in the relegation zone. Safety threshold is 1 point to 0 points. Teams typically need this average or higher to avoid relegation battles. The examples above reveal the system's harsh reality. Team 1, with 1.02 points using the promedio way, might seem safe. But if other clubs maintain averages of 1 point to 0 points or higher, they are sweating bullets. The promoted club faces an even grimmer scenario. Starting with just 1 season of data means every single match carries enormous weight. One bad run and they're gone. That puts newly promoted clubs right on the chopping block, fighting for survival from day one. The system's controversy stems from its inherent bias. Supporters despise it. Smaller clubs call it fundamentally unfair. But the AFA, Argentine Football Association, maintains it religiously. Why? Because it protects the big boys River Plate, Boca Juniors, and other traditional powerhouses. One catastrophic season won't send these giants tumbling down the divisions, as their historical point accumulation provides a safety net. But for smaller clubs, survival becomes an annual nightmare. They must consistently overperform just to maintain their top-flight position, whilst larger clubs can afford the occasional poor campaign. It's a system that prioritises historical success over current merit-making. Argentina's relegation battle unlike anywhere else in world football. Argentina's unique relegation system doesn't care about recent form or current league position. The promedio system averages points across 3 seasons, creating scenarios that would seem impossible anywhere else in world football. Let's examine 3 shocking cases that demonstrate just how brutal this system can be. River Plate's nightmare in 2011. The setup, Argentina's most successful club with 33 championship titles, faced the unthinkable. 3 consecutive seasons of poor results had dragged their promedio dangerously low, despite their legendary status. The moment River Plate found themselves in a relegation playoff against Belgrano. The weight of history, the pressure of expectation, and the mathematics of the promedio system all converged in one fateful match. The aftermath. They lost. The monumental stadium erupted into chaos as fans rioted, unable to comprehend that their beloved River Plate had been relegated to the second division. It remains the darkest chapter in the club's illustrious history. Tola's cruel twist in 2004. The paradox. Tola's finished 3rd in the Clausura tournament, a respectable position that in any other league system would guarantee top-flight survival and potentially European qualification. The reality, their promedio told a different story. 2 disastrous previous seasons had poisoned their 3-year average beyond repair. Despite their recent success on the pitch, the mathematics were unforgiving. The injustice. Imagine Manchester United finishing 3rd in the Premier League, only to be told they're relegated because of performances from 2019 and 2020. This is exactly what happened to Tola's, a perfect illustration of the promedio's harsh logic. The promedio system transforms Argentine football into a psychological battlefield where every match carries the weight of history. Success in the present cannot erase failures of the past, creating a unique form of sporting anxiety that defines the Argentine experience. In 2012, San Lorenzo, one of Argentina's traditional Big Five clubs, found themselves dancing on the edge of relegation despite their storied history. The club that had produced legends and thrilled generations of supporters was reduced to a series of life-or-death calculations. Every match became a mathematical equation. Every goal scored or conceded didn't just affect the current tournament standings. It rippled through the promedio calculations that would determine their fate. The psychological pressure was immense. San Lorenzo ultimately survived through a relegation playoff. But the experience highlighted the system's capacity to turn even historically successful clubs into nervous wrecks. The promedio had transformed their season from a pursuit of glory into a desperate fight for survival. The lasting impact. These cases demonstrate why the promedio system remains so controversial. It punishes clubs for past failures, even when they've found form, creates scenarios that seem to defy sporting logic, and turns every match into a potential catastrophe for even the biggest names in Argentine football. The promedio system ensures that in Argentine football, the past is never truly buried. Success must be sustained across years, not months. And even the mightiest clubs live with the knowledge that mathematical demons from previous seasons can come back to haunt them at any moment. The promedio's psychological effects transforms routine matches into high-stakes drama. creates anxiety that extends across multiple seasons, forces clubs to constantly calculate survival scenarios, makes current success feel fragile and temporary, turns fan support into desperate hope rather than confident expectation. And it's not just the top division that's wild in Argentine football. The second-tier system is where complexity truly reaches fever pitch, creating a maze that would challenge even the most seasoned football administrators. Zone-based competition. The Primera Nacional splits into two distinct geographical zones, each conducting its own mini-league throughout the season. This creates parallel competitions rather than a unified second division, promotion playoffs. Winners of each zone clash in a dramatic final for the first promotion spot, whilst the second spot is determined through the prestigious Torneo Reducido playoff tournament. Here's where Argentine football's complexity reaches truly bewildering levels. Your club's geographical location doesn't just determine which zone you play in, it fundamentally alters your entire footballing destiny should relegation strike. Direct affiliates, Buenos Aires and its suburbs. Clubs from the capital and its surrounding areas enjoy direct affiliation status with the Argentine Football Association, AFA. When these clubs face the dreaded drop from professional football, they land in the Primera B Metropolitana competition specifically designed for metropolitan clubs. Direct connection to AFA headquarters. Metropolitan-focused competition structure, generally shorter travel distances. Access to Buenos Aires football infrastructure. Indirect affiliates, provincial clubs. Teams from Argentina's vast provinces operate under indirect affiliate status, meaning their relegation path leads to the Torneo Federal A. This creates an entirely separate ecosystem of football, despite being at the same theoretical level of the pyramid. Provincial league affiliation system, federal tournament structure, extensive travel across diverse regions, local infrastructure challenges. This geographical division creates a fascinating paradox in Argentine football. Two competitions, the first one is Primera B Metropolitan and the second is Torneo Federal A, exist at identical levels within the pyramid. Yet they might as well be on different planets. The cultural, economic, and logistical differences between metropolitan Buenos Aires football and provincial competitions are stark. Provincial clubs face enormous challenges that their Buenos Aires counterparts simply don't encounter. Imagine travelling from Mendoza to Formosa for a league match that's over 1,200 kilometres through diverse terrain and climate zones. Meanwhile, metropolitan clubs rarely venture beyond the sprawling boundaries of Greater Buenos Aires. The ripple effect. This system means that a club's postcode essentially predetermines their relegation destination, creating two entirely different pathways back to professional football. It's not just about sporting merit, it's about where you happen to call home. So depending on where your club is located, your entire destiny after relegation changes dramatically. It's a system that perfectly encapsulates the beautiful chaos of Argentine football logical in its own way, yet utterly bewildering to outsiders trying to understand how South American club competition truly operates. So, is this system good or bad? Well, both. The Argentine football structure is like a thrilling tango dance, elegant and chaotic in equal measure, creating moments of pure brilliance whilst leaving spectators utterly bewildered. The beautiful side. More finals equals more drama, with multiple tournaments running simultaneously. Argentine football delivers nail-biting zenith every few months rather than the traditional once-yearly crescendo. The promedio safety net, this averaging system gives established clubs stability, allowing them to recover from one catastrophic season without facing immediate relegation. Constant spectacle fans are treated as season-defining matches throughout the year, creating an almost permanent state of footballing euphoria. The frustrating reality. Smaller clubs suffer. Newly promoted teams face an uphill battle, punished by a system that favours historical performance over current form. Rule complexity. Constant regulatory changes make following competition feel like solving a mathematical puzzle. Political undertones. Sometimes it feels as though boardroom politics, rather than on-pitch performance, determines survival and success. Argentine fans themselves joke that you need a PhD in mathematics just to understand the tables. This perfectly encapsulates the beautiful madness of Argentine football, a system so wonderfully complicated that even its most passionate supporters need scientific calculators to work out who's safe from relegation. It's simultaneously the sport's greatest strength and most maddening weakness, creating unforgettable drama whilst leaving everyone scratching their heads in confusion. So yes, the Argentine league is absolutely chaotic. It's deeply political, often unfair, and changes format more frequently than a Formula One car changes tyres. But here's the thing, it's also utterly electrifying, and that chaos might just be its greatest strength. New champions every 6 months. Unlike Europe's predictable annual cycles, Argentina crowns fresh winners twice yearly, creating constant opportunity for glory and preventing any single club from dominating for too long. Relegation battles that matter. Every single week brings relegation drama that actually affects teams' futures. There's no safety net of parachute payments, just pure raw consequence that makes every match genuinely meaningful. Ever-changing formats. The league format could shift again next season, keeping clubs, players, and fans constantly adapting. It's unpredictability as a feature, not a bug. Perhaps this is the secret sauce that makes Argentine football so captivating. The league doesn't just exist in Argentina, it reflects Argentina itself. It's passionate to its core, utterly unpredictable, and dramatically intense in ways that make your heart race. Every format change, every political intervention, every moment of beautiful chaos mirrors the country's own relationship with change, passion, and the unexpected. This isn't disorder, it's authenticity. Welcome to Argentina, where chaos breeds champions and every match could rewrite the rule book. Thanks for diving deep into this beautiful madness with us. If you've enjoyed exploring the wild world of Argentine football, hit subscribe and share your thoughts. What's the most bizarre league format you've ever encountered? The comments await your stories of footballing chaos from around the globe.